Hello, Chelsea fans. Welcome back to the Pride FT. The FT stands for Football Thoughts. Today, we're discussing who we believe should be the next Chelsea manager. This comes just days after Graham Potter was sacked for an historically bad season at our beloved club. And there are many names on the list, but we've just picked out three today to go through. As ever, if you enjoy what you see or hear today, feel free to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. It really would help out a lot. And any kind of constructive criticism you had would be much appreciated. You can leave that down in the comments below, of course. So let's get cracking and get straight into the first name on the list. It's the bookies' favourite. It's Julian Nagelsmann. A young coach with a lot of promise. He's only 35 years old. He became the youngest ever Bundesliga manager when he took over at Hoffenheim in 2016 at only 28 years of age. He kept them from relegation that year and then took them to the Champions League places the year after. He then went on to Leipzig, where he had a kind of a middling spell but did okay, but caught the eye of Bayern Munich, who then paid £25 million to buy him out of his contract, making him the most expensive manager buyout that the world has ever seen. He then went on to manage Bayern for a couple of seasons, well, about a season and a half, before he was summarily sacked by the hierarchy at Bayern only a couple of weeks ago now. Thomas Tuchel, of course, stepped in to replace him, our fan favourite, who unfortunately left us earlier on this season. And he didn't actually have that bad of a last season at Bayern. They'd only lost 4 games all season, 3 in the Bundesliga and 1 in the Champions League. He's won 2 DFL Cups, a Bundesliga title as well, and he had a 70+% win rate at Bayern as he got sacked too. Now, his style, he's known for his versatility with formations, similar to Graham Potter, maintaining possession, implementing a Gegenpress, whereby the team, after losing possession, immediately attempts to win back possession rather than dropping back to regroup. And he is considered to be one of the best young managers in football, but he is very young, and you have to consider that he is 3 years younger than our oldest player, Thiago Silva. What does that do for the group dynamic? Can you control, can you gain the respect of a group of players when you have so little years behind you as a manager? Now, he has managed quite a few games already, so he has over 300 games managed in his young career. And he does have a pretty good win percentage with those games too. Um, and kind of feels like it makes sense to have him as he worked under Christopher Vivell at Leipzig, who obviously at the moment is our technical director. So there are many things that work with Nagelsmann. He's free, obviously he's available. I should say he's not free. We'd still have to pay out his contract to Bayern. But he's young, exciting, and he has won things before, so could be a good fit for the club and our kind of group of young, attacking, exciting, dynamic players. We'll move on to the next manager, Luis Enrique. Enrique, of course, is another option. The ex-Spain manager, knocked out of the last World Cup by Morocco in a big shock. Comes with a lot of pedigree too. Started his managerial career at the Barcelona B team, then went on to Roma, had a pretty poor year there, left his job after failing to secure European qualification, then went to Celta Vigo in Spain and also didn't do too well and left shortly after, but then got the job at Barcelona and heralded in quite possibly the greatest team that Barcelona have ever seen, at least statistically. His Barcelona side scored more, conceded less, and won trophies at a similar rate to peak Pep Guardiola Barca. And Pep has actually come out and said before that the hardest team he's ever played against was Luis Enrique's Barcelona, a team obviously that included Neymar, Messi, and Suarez, who were all banging in goals for fun. They played quite a direct, quick play style, similar to actually what we were seeing from Potter in a 4-3-3. But in his most recent stint in managerial terms with Spain, he lacked the talent, the attacking talent that he had at Barcelona. So kind of relied more heavily on his midfielders to provide that attacking impetus. Obviously, that didn't work out for them. As I just said, they were knocked out by Morocco. And watching their games, if you were, and if you did, like I was, they were incredibly boring and dull and quite slow to watch. They definitely favoured a heavy possession style, a lot of passing and slow build up, which doesn't make for the most exciting football. Now, maybe that would work well at our club. We've got a lot of talented passers, Enzo. To be one, for example, and players in the midfield who could kind of break from deep and provide that attacking impetus, such as Kovacic and Kante on a good day, you could say. But obviously, his track record isn't as good in the kind of in the short term. Um, and he also is said to have quite a stubborn and frosty style of management as well. So might not gel well with the kind of management system that we have at the moment. And I don't know if he brings enough dynamism, if he brings enough exciting new tactics and ideas to the club that maybe we were expecting. Pochettino, of course, is another name that we should talk about. Pochettino favours a high-pressing, attacking style of football, often employs a 4-2-3-1 at the club that he manages, and he instructs his team to build up from the back, intimidate and settle opponents with a quick pressing system, and get the ball in the box nice and quickly and aggressively. Obviously, we remember him from his time at Spurs, where he did a great job taking them from, maybe a middling team who's pushing for greatness, into a team that regularly competed for Champions League spots and titles as well in his time there. He's also known for developing youth talents quite well. You think of Harry Kane, Kyle Walker, Dele Alli for a moment, and gives them a chance to shine and flourish in the first team setup, which obviously would be good because we do have a lot of young talents in the club at the moment. You're thinking of Enzo, Mudryk, Havertz, Pulisic. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. So he might be a good fit in that regard. But obviously, when you consider his kind of allegiance to Spurs, he spent a long time there. If you remember back to how we felt when Rafa Benitez was installed as manager all those years ago, it felt quite weird seeing that obviously he had that massive Liverpool connection and had actually said stuff publicly about Chelsea during his time there. Would Pochettino suffer the same fate? Is his kind of direct link to Spurs too much of a thing for Chelsea fans to kind of get past and get over? I think it might feel quite weird to have him come to the club. As I said, nobody was particularly impressed with his time at PSG. With a really expensively assembled and exciting squad, he didn't exactly get the best out of them. As I said, he won Ligue 1, but that's really not the most exciting thing for the Parisian club, as it's something that they're expected to do every season anyway. And they didn't really make much progress in the Champions League as well. So, yeah, maybe not the best option in that regard. But when you consider where we are at the moment, we're nowhere near a Champions League team. We're sitting in 11th. So there we go. Just thought I'd give you guys a quick rundown of kind of three of the favourite managers who could come in and take over the head job from Bruno Saltor at Chelsea, hopefully soon, but who knows. Obviously, there are many other names out there. I've seen Mourinho mentioned. I've seen Pep Guardiola mentioned. Oliver Glasner, and Ruben Amorim as well from Portugal. So a lot of names, a lot of options. It'd be very interesting to see who Chelsea go for. Apparently, they're taking quite a slow and methodical approach as to who they go for. Obviously, the proof is in the pudding. We will see if that is actually the case. But whoever it is, we have to believe that they're going to pick the right person and not rush into a decision like maybe they did with Potter. Thanks for dropping by. Thanks for watching the video. If you liked what you saw, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, that'd be great. Also, if you could leave a comment below as well, let me know if there's anything that I should have done better in this video. It really does help, as we're such a new channel. We're still trying to figure out how we do things. And maybe we're not as practiced at certain things as we are at other things. So yeah, any feedback would be much appreciated. As ever, thank you so much for watching, and up the shells.